Hey everyone, my name is Daniel, and in this video, I'll show you how to replace autonomous agents with workflows. I'll introduce you to my existing autonomous agent, which has the Microsoft Forms trigger. I'll then walk you through to the new Copilot Studio that I rebuilt, and finally introduce you to the workflow, which is the replacement of the trigger. So stick around, because with the new look of Copilot Studio, this is a path for replacement of autonomous agents. However, it is not as bad as you think. But first, here's my intro video. So let's get started. Autonomous agent has been a topic of debate ever since it was first introduced. In fact, it been publicly available in October of 2024, and then it became generally available, which is GA, in March of 2025. And here is the difference, because some people think autonomous agent is just a Power Automate flow. But here is the true difference. And I'll show you this by an example. See, for this original agent, I have the trigger of the autonomous agent. And what the trigger basically is a Power Automate flow. You see, it says edit in Power Automate. But when I go and click on it, it directly takes me to the Power Automate into the flow, all right? So here's the trigger. A new response came in my case, info path. I go ahead and create a variable. I go ahead and grab all the response details. But then after that, there is no conditions, there is no filtering, there is no extraction. All the response from that Microsoft form is directly sent into Copilot Studio, and that's where the model and all the magic happens over there. So this is the clear distinction, because if you were going to create this as a Power Automate cloud flow, you would have to do some logic over here to extract the data, decide is this exactly what the user is asking, and then go ahead and forward it however, on a Teams post or email or whatever. However, all the decision making from the autonomous agent trigger is all happen using the model in the orchestrator. And that's the clean distinction between the autonomous agent and the Power Automate flow. So now let me walk you through a little bit more in detail in this example that I already have. So this coffee machine agent is the first autonomous agent that I actually introduced back in December of 2024. And you must have already watched that video. If you're interested, I have the link of that down in the description below. What this agent does is it watches for people to fill this front-end Microsoft form. It's called as the coffee machine inquiry form. And over there, you go ahead and fill in your name, an email address so we can respond back to that, and a question. The question can be anything about the coffee machines that we sell. Now, when this form comes in, it automatically goes ahead and triggers the autonomous agent to do all of this magic and then respond back as an email. And here I've got the Excel spreadsheet as the knowledge, which has all the information about my coffee machines. This is the tool that I use to respond back, which is send an email to the inquiry person. And here is the trigger. This is what triggers the Power Automate flow. So when I come over here to the ellipsis and I click over here, edit in Power Automate, it directly takes me to the same environment of the cloud workflow. And this is the logic. Initially, the trigger is when a new response is submitted. And so for that, it's the exact same Microsoft form that I showed you right over here. After that, I go ahead and create this variable. It's called as the initialized variable of type string, because here I go ahead and keep all that information which we are going to send back to the user. That's just something I do for my personal use. And because I'm going to go ahead and add value to this variable, I do it inside a for each, because that automatically happens in the Power Automate Cloud Flow. I get the response from the Microsoft form, which is basically those 3 questions which are added. I go ahead and set that into the variable, and then that variable is what's sent into the Copilot Studio. It basically responds back. That way, once it comes back to the Copilot Studio, I can have my orchestrator with this model reason with the question that comes in and then responds back directly using this Outlook 365 send email. This is all the magic that happens in the autonomous agent. However, with the new and improved Copilot Studio, which has just been released, the whole concept of triggers is completely gone. it's not there anymore. And if you're interested about learning more about this new Copilot Studio with all the new features that come along with it and some of the existing features which have disappeared, I've done a whole detailed video on that topic. The link of that is down in the description below. So this is the agent that I have rebuilt in the new Copilot Studio. And let's spend a few minutes on that. So when I come in over here, what was originally as the separate description and the instructions, that is all consolidated into one piece. So the good thing is though, a lot of it was consistent. I mean, I literally went ahead and copied all the instructions that I had from here, and I went ahead and pasted all over here. I mean, it was literally a copy and paste, all right? None of that changed. This was the exact same text. The only slight difference was in the original agent, there was a dedicated description section. So I did go ahead and still copy that, and I went ahead and put that as the beginning of the instruction. That's the one thing that I did. After that, the tools and the knowledge, it directly came in as is. I mean, the tools that I added in the original Copilot Studio, which was right over here, that was the exact same tool. Office 365 Outlook, send email. That's the same thing I did over here. It's the exact same tool. Went in and added the send and email, the exact same tool. After that, the knowledge in the original one, I went ahead and uploaded that as an Excel spreadsheet. That's what I did over here. In the new Copilot Studio, the exact same thing. When I go ahead and click on it, I went ahead and uploaded that right over here, and it went and puts it back in the exact same SharePoint container. So the knowledge also was the exact same. However, the key differences between the two of them was in the original one, it had triggers. In the new one, there is no such thing as triggers. And this is where I had to go ahead and build a new workflow. So when I come over here to the workflow, what you see over here is coffee form trigger. This isn't something that was automatically made. I had to go ahead and build this. So for the next few minutes, let's focus on what I did over here. Just a quick update. If you wish to support my channel, you have two options. Go to my YouTube channel, click on join, and select any one of these membership options. Keep in mind, you can cancel it at any time. For a one-time payment, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Dan Christian and select either 1, 5, or as many coffees as you like. Thank you for your support. Now, before building that workflow, there is one requirement that you should be aware of tied to your Power Platform Admin Center, the PPAC, and that has to do with your data policies. To do that first, you specifically go into your home, you go into your security, you go into data and privacy, and then data policy. You need to find out what is that data policy that is tied to your environment. And in my case, it is the agentic policy. So once I click over here, when I click on next, this is where I manage the connectors. And there is one connector that you absolutely need to approve, and that is the agents. So I'll do a quick search for that. It's this one over here. It is fairly new. And in your case, if you automatically go ahead and block the new connectors, then this one will be blocked. And if that's the case, everything I'm about to show you will not work. You'll actually get that data policy error. So to avoid that, do this first. This is a requirement, all right? Go to your environment and approve this connector. It's called as agents. After you've sorted all of that, then you can successfully go ahead and build the flow that I'm going to walk you through. So here we go. We're going to come into the Copilot Studio and select workflows. Now, I already have this one built, but I'm at least going to show you how to start building it, but I just won't save it, all right, because it is a little different. So the first thing is you come over here to new workflow and you go and click on it. On the drop down, there is the option to select the classic workflow, but in this scenario, I'm going to click on the new workflow, all right? By default, it is manual, but when I click on this drop down, there is the option for connector. And this is where I'm going to find the trigger for my Microsoft form. Now, you don't need to know what the trigger is. You just type in Microsoft form, or in your case, whatever it is, and it shows you this. It's a Microsoft form, and this is the trigger. So I'm going to go and select on it, all right? Now, it immediately tells me there is one issue, but that's because we have to actually go and pick the form ID. So the form for me is coffee machine inquiry form. So that's what I'm going to search for. I'm going to literally come over here, and I'm going to search for coffee. I'm going to search for coffee, and there you go. Just by typing it in, IntelliSense gives me this coffee machine inquiry form, and voila, that's all I need. So I already got my trigger taken care of. Next, I need that entry which was just submitted in the form. So for that, I add another step, and over here, same thing. I just type in Microsoft Form. I have two options, get form details or get response details. In my case, it's the response. Somebody went ahead and filled the forms. I want to get the detail of that response. And for that, we select this get response detail. So that action came in over here, and now I got to go and fill out this information. Now, if you notice, if you've been building Power Automate flows before, this is very similar. So the overall logic of this workflow is the exact same as the Power Automate Cloud Flow. It's not something that you have to start all over again. So that's at least good. Some of the lessons that you've learned in Cloud Flow is the exact same thing over here. So I'm going to come back over here and again search for the exact same thing, which is the coffee machine inquiry form. Cool, selected that. And for the response ID, I come over here to insert dynamic content, and that's the one that I want, response ID. So now I go and select on it, and that part is taken care of. The final step is to go ahead and add this new agent section, all right? So I can literally come to the top left, grab it, and drop it down over here. That works. Or I can also click over here and actually type it, search in agents. It's the exact same thing. I just wanted to show you both the options, that you had this flexibility over here as well. So that's the third and the final step that we have to add. But this agent one, since it's a new action altogether, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on it. You see, when you add this action, you can literally create a brand new agent from scratch right over here. Because when we toggle to the right, you see it has the option new agent for this workflow. And it gives you all the features here that you need to create a whole new agent from scratch. You've got the instructions, work IQ, tools, knowledge, request human assistance when unsure, so on and so forth. All of this is the making of a new agent. So that's the first feature that you have. However, I'm going to click on the drop down and I'm going to select the agent that we already have, which in our case is the coffee machine agent. So I'm going to select that, and now all I have is the message. Now, after I did some testing, this is how I got it to work. The first thing is you want to write a text, all right? This is what I want you to write. It says use content from. At least go ahead and write this one text or something similar, but start with something like that. After that, go ahead and get the three fields that you get from your trigger, which in my case is the Microsoft form, and I've got three fields over there. So that's what I'm going to go and pull in on this side. I'm going to first come to the dynamic content, and when I look at the form, I actually have the your name, your email, and question. So I'm going to maintain this order, at least for my consistency. I'm coming back over here. That's my your name, clicking a comma, enter. Next thing again, I'm going to go ahead and grab the your email, putting in a comma, enter. And finally, the question, which is right over here. See that question. That's it. After doing some testing, I found this as to be the best syntax that it likes. And after that, it worked. And we are done. I literally only needed one trigger and go ahead and add these two actions. So I'm not going to save it over here because I already have a whole one built. I'll come back into this flows. Yes, I'll go ahead and discard that because this is the one that I've built. When I come over here, you can see that it's the exact same thing. I've got the initial trigger, I'm getting the response, and in the agent one, that's the same thing that you and I just typed in. And from the UX standpoint, the user experience, you can always go and do tidy up, so it cleans it up nicely, or you can even go ahead and switch to the horizontal layout. It does this way as well. Whatever you may find pleasing to your eye, you've got the ways to go ahead and change that over here. But the agent part is completely done. And the key thing is you don't need to add any additional steps to integrate this into the agent because you've already called that in the flow side. So here's what I mean. I don't have to come back into the agent by coming in over here and doing anything additional. Like I don't have to go ahead and make any more changes in the features, or I didn't even need to add anything in the instructions because we've already got that agent instructions over there. So now that we finished building the new agent and the workflow, let's do a test and you'll be pleasantly surprised at the response because with the new workflow, the overall format was so much more pleasing to the eye. Let's do the final test. So I'm back to this Microsoft form, which is going to be our trigger. And over here, I'm going to go ahead and give a name. I'm actually going to call it Henry Jameson. And then the email address is this one right here, which is catchallpro@gmail.com. And here's my question. I am inquiring about a red barista machine under $300, all right? So I'll go and click on submit. This has gone ahead and now triggered that new workflow. And when I come back to the inbox over here, any second, I should go ahead and see an email coming in. So while that's happening, let's switch over to the actual workflow piece, okay? Right over here. I'll go directly into my workflows. This is the workflow piece. When I go into the activity, I see something running over here. It says it was running just now, 29:34 seconds ago. And so when I click on it, it is telling me that it's right at the agent section, which means it got the response, which means it was triggered, it got the response, it's sending to the agent, and the agent is going to do all of that massaging and go ahead and send that email back. All right, so that's basically what's happened. So if I go back over here into my inbox, and any second now we should see an email response that has come in, sent by that agent, but it was initially triggered by that new workflow. And there you go, it actually came over here. So let's take a look at it. All right, it gave me the response and says, "Dear Henry, thank you for reaching out to us. We appreciate your interest in our coffee machines." And then we searched our catalog based on a request for a red barista machine under 600 and wanted to share our findings with you. So it did that, and there you go. You see the response that it gave from the search results, more details, and then it also gave me this nice response back over here. This is all part of the instructions, but check this format out. This is what I've started to notice the big difference between when I initially did the triggering and had the same set of instructions in the original agent to what the new agent is giving me. The overall response has been nice, it has been much more clear, and the format has been pretty nice over here. I was pleasantly surprised at how the new workflow worked over here. So there you have it. Now I showed you how to rebuild that trigger feature, which is the core of the autonomous agent. All you have to do is take that Power Automate Cloudflow and rebuild it into the new workflow. The key thing is adding that agent action at the end. Now, currently, there is no tool which automatically does that migration, like an export from the Power Automate flow to an import from the workflow, but we'll see which direction Microsoft heads into. But the key thing is that even though the autonomous agent is technically gone away, you still can rebuild that and be back and running again. So hopefully this video was useful to you. And as always, keep using Copilot Studio with Workflow. Hey everyone, my name is Daniel and I'm a community contributor focusing on all things AI related. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a like and leave a comment behind. I love reading the feedback you leave behind as it really helps me shape my future content. And if you want more content like this, subscribe and turn on notifications. So once again, thank you for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one.